Folks, welcome to another edition in Real Estate Experts. As always, I'm your host, Glenn Twiddle, bringing you leading experts from around the country, around the world, to help you in the form of getting top price for your property, building wealth through property, buying a property well, retiring at an early age with a portfolio, whatever it is. If it's in real estate, I've got you covered by bringing you those experts. I tell you today, I love bringing you these legends of areas who really in their own marketplace are creating waves and have got a list of fans a mile long, and that's not truer anywhere than with my guests today. They're authors, hired gun negotiators. It's almost like you guys are described as the mayor of your area. I'm talking about Peter Godderis, Sofia. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys.
Thanks for having us, Glenn. It's an absolute privilege.
Wow, I'm stoked. I love, before I get to your skill set, right, because I'm loving that you're here, I'm here to pick your brains for our viewers about how to get top price for a property, because you guys do that so often. Yeah. It's incredible. But before we get to that, I've got to ask you guys, I've heard the story, I saw a video. Did you actually seduce and wear down and, now married to, engaged to your real estate agent? Is that right?
Yes.
Tell us the story.
Well, I was looking for an investment property and Peter was my real estate agent.
Wow.
Yes. And a couple of weeks later, he came to Greece.
Wow.
Followed me there. Yeah, I had booked a holiday and he just came.
Mate, that's dedication, bud. You chased her to Greece. Do tell. Please, my accusation of stalker is popping into my head.
Yeah, look, I get what you're saying, Glenn, but that's her version of the story. Right. And we'll let her stick to it. It's important that she does. But I've got a totally different story, and she made the first move.
Ah, really? Okay. Well done, my man. Well, I tell you, I love that story. But now, tell me about your community involvement, because you guys truly, I saw the video, your community truly. How long does it take you guys, if you guys go shopping, with people stopping you in the street, how long does it take you guys to do the daily shopping? You guys truly are.
Time. Yeah, very long, especially with Peter. Like, we just get stopped all the time, and we love it because we love talking to people. We like, just being interested in their life and being curious.
Yeah, tell Peter. I know that. I mean, it's nice to be famous in your area, but what is it that did that? Normally, real estate agents aren't exactly the most favoured member of a community. How is that different to yourself? And is that part of the plan?
Yeah, look, I guess because I've grown up playing football all my life, and I still coach, and I'm quite involved in that in the local community. I guess for me, Glenn, what it was is that I knew a couple of the boys were in the area that I started selling real estate in, and they just introduced me to people. And then what happened was we just sort of escalated into becoming into different clubs and getting to know people. But now I walk down the street, it's funny. I'll give you a prime example. There was a particular guy. His name was Chris Larkins, beautiful guy, older gentleman. He had his property on the market with another agent. But what he decided, he goes, look, I'm going to go and renovate my home. I got talking to him at a coffee shop. Yeah. Just overheard him talking. Got talking to him, walked up to him, and he sort of looked at me a bit funny. That's the first time. The second time, because I knew he had a property that he possibly could sell, I went and sat down with him. Now he's become not only one of my best clients, he's become one of my best referrers. This is all in 12 months. Yeah. I walk down the street, I talk to everyone, but I make it my business to talk to everyone. It's important.
Yeah.
Agreed. Just be a person, that's all I want to be.
Yeah, and mate, I've loved the skill set. Let's get into the skills you guys have developed, because that doesn't happen by chance. That happens because of the amount of people you guys serve. So I guess really for our viewers, what I'm wanting to address first is real estate agents, there's so many of them, right? And in any given area, if you asked every real estate agent, how do I get top price for my property? They'd all say, well, you sell with me because I'm the greatest negotiator in the world. I'll get you top price in a great time. And they'll all say that. So I guess what I'm asking you is, what can I be on the lookout for as a consumer that would identify the Peter and Sofia team as opposed to the guys who just talk the talk? Because obviously they can't all be right. They're not all the greatest negotiators. There's some who talk it but aren't it. But then, of course, like yourselves, there are people who talk it and are that. How do I find it? What criteria should I be on the lookout for?
Okay, I think the fact that I'm an auctioneer and I love auctions, it excites me. Nothing else excites me more than calling an auction. Yeah. But I guess it's all in the training. And I think when I say the training, I mean as in, everyone calls auctions. But what actually happens is that my colleagues, whether it be my PA or my sales team or Sofia, who's my partner, we work the crowd. You know, we don't just stand around with hands in pockets. What we do is we really work with the buyers, and they're identified before the auction, obviously, because there's obviously a meeting, and they also hold the paddle up so they know who to go to. So it's just a little bit of training that they go up to and talk. I mean, prime example, you know, the highest price sale in a particular street was $760,000 in Woodbine Grove in Chelsea. I quoted a property, I quoted 700 plus. I thought that was fair because it was same size block. The home wasn't as good. But we thought probably 730, 740. I was trying to be realistic in my pricing. Ended up getting $920,000 on the day of the auction.
Wow.
2 months earlier, one had sold for 760.
Yeah, I love that. So if I was looking for the Peter Goudouris team of Brisbane, we're looking for someone who's out there, and if they are doing auctions, they're really leaving no stone unturned, I suppose. You know, so Sophia, what else? We certainly need an upfront personality out there and willing to ask for the business. I'm loving that. What else? What else?
Well, customer service. You know, we have a very high standard of customer service. We, when people walk through the office or an open, we make sure that they're acknowledged, even if we're busy, and we just basically want them to have a very good experience with us in every way.
So at the open home, say I'm a consumer and I come to your guys' open home, because every other real estate agent would say, oh, we got great customer service. What are some of the specifics that would identify great customer service if I was to observe you at an open home versus what I might see at another agent's open home?
Certainly, well, we have a display of all kinds of material that would be quite helpful. We would then, when they leave, we would follow them up with a text message so they've got our details, and then a phone call in the afternoon to see if they're interested in the property, or if there's anything else we can assist them with.
Right, because I did see, I don't know if you saw the study, there was a study that 150 real estate agents were surveyed and secret shopped around the country, and they found that 109 out of 150 there was no follow-up whatsoever, none. So are you saying that sweet spot? Because we also don't want to get follow-up like it seems like we got a new family member, the real estate agent. Well, except in your guys' case, of course. But so where would that sweet spot be, as you say, maybe one or two, maybe three contact points? Actually give us the sweet spot where it's not nothing, which is horrible, but it ain't stalker, which would be equally as bad. Where's the sweet spot for follow-up that you mentioned?
So after that, we'd put you on a database system and just send you out some newsletters. Would ask for your permission if you'd like us to do that, and then we would call you every couple of months and just check in and see if there's anything we can help you with, because we believe that we are the ones to go to the customer, we don't want the customer at any given moment to be following or chasing us, because that's why they've chosen us. Yeah,
it was the number one feedback in a survey of consumers was that they didn't hear from their agents enough. So I'm loving that. And so what else, mate? Say I do go to that open house like Sophia's suggesting that we do. And I'm there, we're going to get some great follow-up afterwards, but physically, because you guys are renowned for your marketing. I mean, you have other agents coming to you, hiring you for your advice, both as an auctioneer. I mean, I love that your competition come to you and say, Pete, help us out. But I want to talk specifically about your marketing collateral. Like when I come to an open house and I'm looking at the marketing, how do I identify just a gun marketer versus a normal real estate agent?
Okay, I think it's important that a lot of agents, if you notice when they come to an open when they're at their open for inspection, they introduce themselves, say, oh hi, my name's Andrew, welcome to the open for inspection. There's no real smile, and I'm all about smiling. I introduce myself, I smile, I put my hand out, introduce myself, hi, I'm Peter Goudouris, welcome to open for inspection. Then I hand them the 4-page brochure.
Okay,
so it's all 4-page brochure. We make sure we give the best to our clients, because I believe that if you give the best to your client, well, we want them to get the best price. So if I'm giving them a 1-page brochure that's been just printed off an A4, and I have seen this at my opposition, unfortunately.
You got to train them better, mate.
I know, but we don't train them too well. But look, apart from that, I think it's all in your personality. And I think if you give them all the, we've got stuff about building inspections. We want to make sure that our client's happy in what they've purchased. I want to be able to say hello to my clients down the street. So I want to give them that paraphernalia. We've got some great shops. We offer them, rental appraisals. So if it's an investor, where they know it's there. I think it all. And I ask the question. I never ask a question, what would you pay for the home inside the home? I always ask one important question: how do you feel about the property?
Yeah, nice.
How do you feel about the property?
So it's a system. It sounds like it's a system rather than it being how where we're winging it. With the client's money at stake, these agents, there are many of them that are literally winging it. you've got a system, and yet the consumers could never feel like it's a script and a system. They feel like, you know, that you're just a genuine, friendly bloke, which you are, but it's almost a very systemised process, leaving nothing to chance.
Yeah, and I'm lucky because I've got a PA that sets it all up for me before I'm there. And I make sure Emily's at the front, I'm inside the home to make sure that there's two of us to make sure that we get every bit of information and any sense of what the buyers want to pay.
Yeah.
You know, so we're both there all the time.
Oh, it's another great system. You say it as a flippant offhand comment, oh, there's two of us there. But so few agents have a team there to service those guests, those customers. Normally it's just one. I've seen it. There's only one agent at the door, hand a business card, call me if you've got any interest, and I'm here if you've got any questions.
And it's normally a PA.
Yeah.
It's their PA.
Wow,
yeah, I won't do it. My client employs me. Yep. I've got to be there.
Beautiful, mate. Yeah. Excellent. So we found out here's my next question that leads me to, is this level of service is far and exceeding, and that's why you guys are so successful in your area, of course, but this level of service sounds like it's going to cost me as a consumer so much more money. Yep. Now, we've seen some agents that are out there, literally it looks like they're working for free. And we've seen some agents out there, literally it sounds like they're going to charge me 1 year's salary to do the work to sell my home, and everywhere in between. Now, I know you guys aren't the most expensive in the game, nor are you guys the cheapest. But tell me, as a consumer, how am I to tread that minefield of how much to pay for a real estate agent's services? Because it's such a wide variety of fees, and are all real estate agents created equal, Sophia?
Well, no. I guess, you know, you've got to just look at how they're delivering, how they're selling themselves first before you select an agent. And, you know, and basically you get what you pay for as well. And it's not just about how much you spend, it's how much you're going to make. You've got to ensure that the agent actually shows you results about the property, about properties that they've sold before, and see what kind of prices they're getting, because then they'll give you more back for your dollar. So it's probably more wise to spend more and get more back.
Well, yeah. Well, mate, and how would you word it? Say someone comes in and say, mate, the other guy's $4,000 cheaper, bud. Will you match it? You know, and if that was the case, what's your take on the whole varying fee arrangement?
Look, I guess for me, you know, I want the vendor to choose who they're the most comfortable with. I don't think it should come down to the figures as such. What I like to do is I actually then go, if they ask me a question, I'd say, okay, well, if they're $4,000 cheaper, can you do me a favour? Could you just ring them back one more time? And just ask them if they'll drop it down to 6.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, really? I said, yeah, you should. And then, could you imagine they did it? What would you be thinking right now? As a vendor, is this guy really going to get me the best price? Because if he can't negotiate his own commission, which is his livelihood, his kids, you know what? Well, he won't be able to negotiate the best price for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, my question would be, and it leads me to think, if you're employing a professional negotiator and you've just out-negotiated your negotiator with one question, maybe you should sell the house yourself, because you seem to have out-negotiated the guy you're considering. But I love what Sophia's saying. And how do you take it on that? Give me some examples of your track record, because I love what you're implying, Sophia, that at the end, if there's an extra $50,000 or $100,000, and that cost an extra $2,000 or $3,000. But give me some of your best, some of the ones you're so proud of where you've done exactly that.
Well, I guess the one we were talking about in Woodbine Grove. I mean, Woodbine Grove, you know, I was pretty much the same commission as the other agent. Yeah. Okay, but I got the business because she could see I was enthusiastic, and she'd been to one of my auctions prior to and seen that we had a great result. So we got, you know, $160,000 above reserves.
Had they have taken that discounted agent, if there was one, that'd be a pretty expensive discount, I would say.
Yeah, and look, they had another agent that went in by, you know, 0.5% lower than what I went in at. Right. They didn't choose them because they weren't as enthusiastic. Wow. But my enthusiasm, you know, as a team, and it's not just about me because I'm a pretty energetic bloke, but my team is amazing. You know, from the time the appraisal comes in to, you know, delivering our information pack to our vendors is within half an hour. You know, with follow-up calls, we make sure that our vendors treated like gold. You know, the amount of testimonials we've had is
Mate,
phenomenal.
I've seen the success stories, mate. I love what I'm seeing from you guys, and that's why that's why I begged for your guys' time to come and share some of these strategies, so that people in other cities can find the equivalent of you guys in their city by identifying some of these characteristics. I love it. So, in your book, you guys spend a bit of time. I wanted to ask you, Sofia, about this principle that you've seen happen so often. It's got a name. It's called buying the listing. Tell me, actually, when you guys wrote that in the book, tell me, actually, I'll start with you, Pete. Yeah. What is buying the listing? And tell me, why are you guys so passionate about informing people what that particular strategy from real estate agents is? Because you've seen it cost other sellers in other areas and stuff tens of thousands of dollars. Tell me what it is and why it's such a mistake.
Yeah, look, I guess for me, Glenn, I mean, if you don't price your property well in the marketplace from the opening minutes, because let's be honest, the first 3 weeks of a property being on the market is when we get the truckloads of buyers through our open for inspection.
So for the viewers, mate, what is buying the listing? Because some of us don't know.
Okay, buying the listing is basically an agent walking in, overpricing a property by about $50,000 to $100,000, and the property being on the market for 6 months.
Right. So it's Sophia. It's why would the agent do it? Why would they have a property that they know is worth $500,000? Why would they allow a vendor to think it's worth $600,000?
To get their business. Yeah.
So that's the one thing they're using to.
Yeah. However, it doesn't work in their favour, because that soon gets discovered, and then what happens is then they don't get repeat business, and it actually contaminates, the whole marketing campaign, and also their ongoing business.
Yeah. Tell us, what does it do, the marketing campaign, mate?
Look, I guess for the marketing campaign on that aspect, it is, your agent comes in, puts that big high price on it. No buyers are coming through the open for inspection. The vendor's saying, well, how come we're not getting any buyers through? Well, you know what? Then all of a sudden they start educating the vendor to try and get them to a realistic selling price, when realistically the other agents who have been authentic and in complete integrity to the level that they had mentioned earlier, and they, and then they end up dropping their price. In the end, I would rather start lower here, get the competition going, get that high price, than going the other way around. I work for my vendor. My vendor's there for me to get the best price, not get them a price up there, tell them a lie, and sell it down there. Let's work the other way around.
Yeah. Sophia, do you think it's deception on their part, or do you think it's, and it's equally as unforgivable, do you think it's deception and they know that they're doing it as a strategy, or do you think it's naive optimism, incompetence? Do you think it's one or the other?
Well, I believe it's deception, because it's like a way of getting your foot in the door. But as I said before, it does not work in their favour, and people can see through this, in a couple of weeks after the campaign starts.
Yeah. Is that why most agents have the reputation they got?
Correct.
That's right. And we definitely want to stand for a new reputation.
I love it. I love that you guys, we have on this show all the time. Yeah. It's almost like a changing face of real estate, and it's represented by folks like yourself doing it the right way. Yeah. And that's why you've got such a long list of people lining up to sing your praises. So it's awesome. Yeah, so thank you for that. Now, my last question is, it really relates back to the marketing we were talking about earlier. It's now less than 5% of properties across the country have a good high quality video like you guys are doing. Yeah. Tell us about the advent of video in real estate, and what you guys' thoughts are on it, why you're doing it, and why aren't more agents doing it? So Sophia, what's going on in the world of video?
So the world of video, well, these days it's a busy life. We've got a lot of commitments, people are busy, people are time poor. So we choose to do videos because it's just easier for somebody to press play and just quickly have a quick look at the video, and they'll have to slide through 12 photos.
Yeah.
Mate, tell us what your thoughts are, because you get in the videos, Because I know you're shy and retired.
Yeah, I am. I really am. It's something I've really I've got to work on that. We talk about our confidence thing later, so you can help me. But no, look, I believe in videos, and I'll tell you why I believe in them. What happens is when people turn up to you open for inspection, they actually look at you and go, you were pretty funny in that video. And it's broken a barrier. So what happens is, let's be honest, buyers come to a home, they've just sent a photo of this agent, and they don't know who he is. Yeah. So they're going to have this sort of gap between us and whatever, but they'll feel a little bit different because they realise, you know what, he's a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've jumped in waters, I've jumped in the beach, I've taken my suit off, you know, all sorts of things, you know, like. But I think if you break the barrier, what happens is, yes, it takes, yes, it exposes yourself, but you know what the best thing about this? People really focus in on that home.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, look at, you know, you're great in that video, but you know what? They're there. They've come for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, but look, I guess for me, it's promoting my vendors at the best possible way. I mean, it's important, but also breaking that barrier with the buyer.
Yeah.
So when I shake their hand, they say, "Hi, Pete."
Yeah. I love that you've started the rapport process before they got anywhere near you, and then you use that rapport to get those insane high prices you get. So
It's working.
Yeah,
really.
Beautiful. So I guess, Sophia, in summing up, actually, you know what? I'm going to hit you because you're the nicest person I've ever met. I know you guys have written the book. I know it's got $24.95 that you're selling copies of. It's a bestseller. I love it. But can I hit you up for a copy of the book for our viewers?
Absolutely, Glenn. That's fine.
Tell me about why you wanted to get these it's a relatively simple read. I had a read of it, with some great tips in there. Tell us about why you wrote the book and what was the motivation behind that?
Well, you know, we've also bought property before and sold, and we want to pass that information on to others and make a difference for others, make it the process easier. And especially for people who have never done it before, it can be quite confronting and overwhelming. And you know, they hear a lot of stories about real estate agents, and we definitely want to communicate the message that not everybody's like that, and we genuinely want to help.
Yeah, mate, common sense isn't always common practice. Some of these tips that you've got in this book, they seem to be quite common sense, mate. You know, is that what you found? Did you want to just get these simple things in place?
That's all I want. Just something, you know, keep it simple, and you know what? It's all about best practice.
Yeah.
Being full of integrity and being authentic the whole way through everything you do in life.
I love it, mate. I love it. It's been an honour hanging out with you
It's
guys,
been a
folks.
pleasure.
Another edition of Real Estate Experts in the Can. Wow, how good are these pests over anywhere in their area? I tell you, you've got to call them in. Of course, they're already a household name if you're anywhere near them. But for across the country, do avail yourself of getting a copy of their book. Fantastic read, very simple tips on getting top dollar for your property. And that's another edition in Real Estate Experts. My thanks to you guys. And until next time, guys, bye for now.
I was very impressed with Peter and Emily and the whole process. I had, you know, my reservations about selling and I was very scared, but Peter just helped to make it very easy, and he calmed my nerves, and he was just so genuine. Always returned calls, and I was always kept up to date with anything that was happening, like after inspections, and always got a call or a message from Pete. Very happy, and thank you very much to you guys.
It was a pleasure getting to know you both.
Oh, it's been a pleasure for us
Yes.
too, Joan. How amazing
We
is
love
your
it.
new unit?
And my daughter sent to wish you a nice visit today
I love Tina.
and was wondering how Peter's partner is.
Oh, Sophia.
Yes.
She's better. She's better.
And I had to tell her name, Sofia.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And would you have changed anything that we did?
No.
And did you find our communication
Excellent.
was up there? Oh, wow.
Over the top.
Over the top even?
And even after I moved into my new abode,
Yes.
excellent.
We did go to 2 or 3 other agents, and straight away we warmed to you. It was a very friendly office, and everyone was, you know, interested in us and the house, of course. So that was probably one of the things.
Yeah, thank you. Now, what about yourself? Well, we all know we're all experts at selling property, right? Because, you know, it's our property. And one of the things that I've always believed in is that a lot of the advertising is wasted. And when you came and said, yes, a lot of the advertising is wasted, we just need to basically put up a good board and actually put it on real estate. That's what I believe, and I think that was, you know, excellent.
Yeah, we just kept it simple, and
And not spend a lot of money, you know, and giving it to, you know, papers and that no one reads, and they just throw in the bin.
I did a lot of the communicating with you, I think, and it was always you, which or Emily. So I think you put a priority on being hands-on yourself, which is great, and you know, very automatic with answering texts or
Yeah.
calls and things like that. If you have questions, so it's really good service.
I really appreciate it. What about you,
Yeah, well, I left it up to Julie
Yeah.
because she sits on her iPhone and watches every real estate property sold.
Love it.
I was interested at that
I love
time.
it. I saw Julie at about 7 or 8 auctions, so
That's right.
and I
she
love
came
her
home,
homework. It was
she-
great.
And then she said, I think we'll use Peter because have a look at this auction in Mount Eliza about 4 years before.
Yeah.
She made me watch the whole damn
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
We watched
So
it.
we watched that. Yeah, I think it was really good because it was low key, but it was efficient. And I think that the other people that we interviewed came with pages and pages of proposals and data and graphs and pie charts. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't impress me, no.
And what impressed me so much was the fact that each and every auction that I went to in the area, you were always standing there. You were looking at seeing what was going on, and that impressed me so much. I went to other auctions where you were actually doing the auctioning, and I saw no other agents there. So what inspired me at that point was the integrity that I was picking up, the professionalism. And when I did end up giving you the listing, it was a matter of, thank you very much. I think you were in the car.
I was pretty
hands-free.
excited. I'm gonna tell
You were pretty excited. I then got you around to have a look at the property. And it was a reasonably good condition to a certain point. But what we had plans, you weren't quite sure where it was going. I got you through. We did the renovation in just over 4 weeks.
Yeah, and did a great job by the way.
An amazing job.
And I can always imagine or remember when you first walked in. After we'd done it, you'd just gone, get out of here.
Gotta say,
well, there was a few other. Yeah, there was another word in
let's
there.
be honest, it wasn't all you. It was a beautiful wife, Donna.
Yeah, so we project manage it, and the integrity, the professionalism that we actually experienced through Evia at Chelsea, tantamount to the passion that you had.
Thank you.
Yeah, the passion that you had with it. With Emily, nothing was too difficult.
Great.
And even though you asked me to put up some, comments, I think that we actually went above and beyond that. I think that Evia at Chelsea is the best.
Wow,
on this street.
Thank you, Dave.
And I did scope out at least 4 or 5 other agents. And integrity, professionalism, honesty, and just that down to earth aspect. That's what we found, and that's why we chose you.